everybody! It is coffee time. I had to do one of these because this shirt keeps trying to fall down and it's driving me nuts. I wore a cardigan into work today, but it's been so hot. Like, I know that some of you live in places where it's much warmer than it is here. I'm not trying to compete with you. I'm not trying to say that where I live is hotter or more miserable. What I am saying is that the climate that my body has adjusted to, this temperate, like, mid-70s Fahrenheit climate that I am used to, is not what I've been getting for the last, like, week. And it's October. Isn't it supposed to be, like, cooling down right around now? August, I think, is supposed to be the hottest that it gets in the year on this coast. And yet, we've been dealing with, like, between 100 and 105 degree weather for the last, like, week. Every time I get out of my car, I'm like, bleh, bleh, this is not what I wanted. It's so bizarre. So I keep wearing, like, cardigans and things, and then the second I step outside of my car, I'm like, why did I do this? This was such a mistake. I should not have done that at all. So yeah, welcome. Welcome, everybody. It is warm, even in the office, because the AC can't keep up. These are the days when I'm like, man, I wish I was back in Oregon. But I guess in Oregon, they've been having the same sort of problem. Like, it's been pretty warm there, too. So, hey, it's getting warmer every year. Weird how science works that way. So, let me tell you about my coffee adventures. They're not going to be interesting. I just want to tell you about them because why not? This is a show called Coffee Time, and you get to listen to me talk about coffee for a second. So, for the last, like, month, I've been drinking mostly black coffee, sometimes Americanos, but mostly just, like, straight up black coffee, no sugar, no cream at all. And most of you know I don't put cream in my coffee anyway, so it's been more a effort to cut all of the sugar out of my coffee, which has definitely made the coffee taste a lot stronger. These last couple of days, I've been doing plain lattes, which I've never really done before. Like, I love lattes, but I normally get them, you know, like vanilla lattes or hazelnut lattes or blah, blah. So now I've been trying to do plain lattes with coconut milk. So it's literally just espresso and coconut milk. It's delicious. Guys, it's so good. Ever since I found out that Starbucks has coconut milk, I'm like, yo, coconut milk is, like, already sweet because it's coconuts, right? Like, it's, like, fantastic. This tastes amazing. So that's been great. That's my story. Wasn't it great? Wasn't it just the most worth it thing that you've ever heard in your life? I have been hanging out with so many friends this last weekend, and I didn't even really realize how much I had planned on until I was in the middle of doing it and was like, whoa, I'm going to be seeing so many people this weekend. I went over and spent the night at Angie's house, and that was super fun. We watched Young Justice, and then I tweeted Sam, and I was like, Sam, for Halloween you should be Superboy, and I'll be Ramen, and I'll make terrible puns, and then you can talk about your clone daddy issues. And he was like, I've never seen that show, so I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, what do you mean you've never seen Young Justice? Wait, I'm sorry. What? What do you mean? So then, I was sending him pictures of Superboy. I was like, look, it's like a really, really easy costume. And he was like, honey, his body is shaped like this. He's like, I don't think I can be a convincing Superboy. And I was like, do you think I can be a convincing Robin, aside from the fact that I'm short like he is? Poor sweet Tim. Oh my god, if you've ever seen Young Justice, it's so funny. Because, like, all of the Robins have always been kind of, like, waifish, right? Because they're all gymnasts. But, like, Tim cracks me up because in Young Justice, he stands next to Superboy all the time, and I'm always like, you're so small! He's smaller than everybody! He's so itty-bitty! And he's supposed to be, like, 5'4" or 5'5", and I'm like, you've got to be shorter than that. Like, there's just no, like, looking at you standing next to everybody, and he wears these terrible sunglasses. I was just like, oh my god, Tim Drake, you're like my spirit animal. I love you so much. I just, like, want to be you. You're so terrible. Like, the first episode when he tries to be not the very first episode, but the first time when he's like, I think I can be a leader, and he just whiffs it so hard, and I'm like, oh, sweet Tim. Sweet Tim. I was like, Sam, we gotta be Superboy and Robin. And he's like, no. Come on. All you gotta do is wear, like, cargo pants and a Superman t-shirt. It's like the easiest costume in the world. I'm the one that would have to work harder, unless I was being super casual Ramen? I'm gonna be Ramen, the little-known DC superhero. Unless I was casual dressed down Robin with, you know, the terrible sunglasses and the green hoodie and all that. Hilarious. But yeah, anyway, so we were watching Young Justice all night, and I made cider, and it was delicious. I'm getting really good at it, which makes me happy. And then the next day, I came home, made a vegan pasta sauce that was really good. I was like, I didn't have a whole lot of faith in this, but it was actually very tasty. It was 2 10-ounce cans of crushed tomatoes, and then, so there's a term called ricing. It's basically when you take, like, a vegetable and you pulse it in your food processor until it's about the size of rice. So you rice up cauliflower, mushrooms, eggplant, carrots, and I also did onion, and you throw all of that into a slow cooker with, like, a bunch of fresh spices. I have my basil plant now, so I actually used all dry spices except for basil, because I was like, well, I have fresh basil, and I have dry everything else. So hopefully it'll all just, like, balance out, right? Throw a bunch of spices in there, and a little bit of balsamic, and I threw some agave in there, too. And then just, like, let it sit for, like, 6 hours. And I kept tasting it throughout the day, and I was like, I think it needs a little bit more something, something. So I wound up adding more spices. But, like, by the end, I was like, this actually tastes really good. I was like, so, and there was so much of it. There was so much of it. And I had this eggplant that I needed to use anyway. So I was like, oh my God, this worked out great. This worked out great. And now I have so much left over. And I've got a spaghetti squash to use. So I was just like, oh, it's all coming together. Anyway, so I made that, brought it over to David and Aaron's, and we split up the rest of the pasta sauce because they actually really liked it. Every time I cook for friends, I have this anxiety of, like, what if they hate my food? And I've been fortunate enough in that everything I've ever made for David and Aaron, they've been like, this is really good. I'm like, yes, yes. So we divvied up the pasta sauce, and I gave them the rest of the pasta because I had zucchini noodles, and they had, like, gluten-free noodles. And then I helped give Kaylee a bath. And I kept being like, what if she poops in the bath? Right? Because, like, the baths for babies are, like, these kind of weird upright things to keep their heads out of the water. So we were, like, bathing her, and I kept thinking to myself, like, she could poop at any moment. Like, she could poop in this water. Then what do we do? Right? It's like, what if she just, like, lets loose in there? And they were like, well, then you pull her out, you dump the water, you put more water in, and then you clean her because she just pooped. I was like, I guess so. I guess that's how simple it is, huh? So we gave her a bath, did all of that, she being so cute. And then that night, because this was yesterday, that night, my friend Alex XZ, who does all of the, like, painting stuff, she came into town and spent the night at my place, and so she's there right now just chilling. She was like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted after New York Comic Con, and I was like, dog, I gotta go record stuff, but you just chill. Like, I've got Netflix, you watch some Samurai Champloo, do your thing, hang out at my place, it's totally fine. So I think we're gonna grab dinner tonight before she leaves. But yeah, I wound up seeing so many people. I was like, geez, I got, like, all my social stuff out of the way, like, really fast. And Sam is supposed to come this week, which is awesome. I miss him so much. I'm so excited to see him. Yeah. So it's been good. It's been a good friend-filled weekend. Although being the sort of person who you know, who needs, like, my alone time, it's been really fun. And there's always that concern when I plan lots of friend stuff where I'm like, I hope I don't hit this wall where I'm just like, I need to not be around you. Right? Like, I need my alone time ASAP. But fortunately, everybody that I've spent time with is totally the kind of person who doesn't need to be entertained, if that makes sense. Is just like totally the sort of person where you can chill, and like I didn't feel weird at all being like, hey, I'm like gonna go work, but hang out here. And Alice was like, no problem, buddy, I'll see you tonight. I was like, all right, cool. You know, like those sort of friendships are always so nice, and you can just be like, I gotta go do my thing, you do your thing, and we'll meet up later. You know, like, it's great. It's great. So yeah, I had a very good weekend. I have so many leftovers to eat, which is always a great feeling. And I got to watch the second episode of One Punch Man. So everything is looking good in my life. But now I'm going to go play some Amnesia because we got our first end, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to step back from this for a minute. Dandelion, I don't know when Dandelion's coming back. We've had a lot of glitches in the system, but Amnesia, I'm going to go and play again, and maybe do some One Cups. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I hope you guys have had a fantastic day and a fantastic weekend, and I will talk to you again soon. Okay? Mwah! Bye-bye. Oh, I gotta do this again, so otherwise this shirt's gonna be like, hello, everybody. Blah.